Senator Rand Paul has some sharp words for Donald Trump, saying, "You will lose all of your voters if you continue to support Speaker Johnson." Why did he say this? And why did Matt Gaetz support him? We have so much to unpack here on the Gateway Pundits Beyond the Headlines, brought to you by VNN. This segment is sponsored by My Patriot Supply, providing emergency food solutions to American patriots around the country since 2008. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. Things are heating up in Congress as we approach the election this November. Senator Rand Paul has issued a stern warning to former President Donald Trump regarding his continued support for Speaker Mike Johnson. Speaker Mike Johnson, the self-proclaimed wartime speaker, as he says, announced on Wednesday that he is proceeding with his intention to introduce a series of foreign aid bills for discussion, including provisions for funding in Ukraine. Now, these types of bills are highly unpopular amongst core Republicans, libertarians, conservatives alike. That includes independents. Here's Mike Johnson directly on CNN. Don't know why he's there. I guess he is the speaker of the people, but you would expect him to at least try to give some sense to these absolute hacks. Listen to what he had to say.
We know the urgency in Ukraine and in Israel, and we are going to stand by Israel, our close ally and dear friend, and we were going to stand for freedom and make sure that Vladimir Putin doesn't march through Europe. These are important responsibilities. A strong America is good for the entire world. Since World War II, really, the responsibility for the free world has been shifted onto our shoulders, and we accept that role. We're an exceptional nation. We're the greatest nation on the planet, and we have to act like it. And we have to project to Putin and Xi and Iran and North Korea and anybody else that we will defend freedom. It doesn't mean boots on the ground. We're not the world's policemen, but we're going to do the right thing. And I think the Congress is going to take an important stand here.
President, how should Israel protect Speaker Johnson?
Well, we'll see what happens with that. I think he's a very good
Did he brief?
We'll see what happens with that. I think he's a very good person. Have you talked to Trump about this plan, this legislative plan, in terms of how you're introducing these foreign aid bills? And ultimately, will he have your back?
Oh, I think he will. I was just with him on Friday down at Mar-a-Lago, and we had dinner together, and my wife was with me, and we had a great visit. We talked about a lot of things, all the politics going on in the country, and he said at a press conference we had there together that I'm doing a very good job, and he supports me and all of that. Listen, I think this is all going to work out. I think it's going to be fine. I did tell the president the plan on all of this, and I think he clearly understands why we're running this play and why we need to do this. I think this sets up the next election, the next administration, the next president, and I believe he's going to win.
Well, Trump supports him. Now, why? Now, what's kind of crazy here is if we actually look at the provision bill he's talking about, I don't know why Trump would support him. Here, the general explains that Johnson's foreign aid bill includes $95.34 billion, roughly 60% of which goes directly into the DIB. Ukraine gets 48.43, 19.85 billion replenishment of stocks of Department of Defense. There's 14.8 billion for the DoD ops, 13.8 billion in USAI for Ukraine. You go down here, another 14.1 billion for Israel, 4 billion for missile defense, 1.2 billion for Iron Beam. That might be meant to be Iron Dome. I don't know if there's a difference. 4 billion replenishment of stocks for the Department of Defense, ammunition plant improvements, Red Sea operations. I mean, the list goes on. You can see the original documentation here. Of course, provisions for the security of almost every other country's borders, it seems, except for our own. Now, the insanity of this doesn't come to any surprise, as the $95 billion package provides additional funding to all of our allies. Now, Matt Gaetz weighed in on this, and I'd love to hear what he has to say. It's quite interesting as he continues to fight on the right side of history, in my opinion. Maybe you think differently. Listen.
Last night and proposed different paths for the speaker that would have avoided the abject surrender represented by his strategic choice here. There's no other way to describe it. It's surrender. It's disappointing. I won't support it.
It's disappointing. It's completely detached from what our base wants, what our voters want.
The strategy is not to try. I think the strategy is to fall on his sword.
So when I asked Congressman Chip Roy about whether or not it was time for him to oust Mike Johnson from the speakership, he said that he went right up to the line, Dana, and didn't go across that line, perhaps because he needs to talk with the speaker, which is happening right now. Now, the question is, will the numbers add up to oust him from the speakership? Because Democrats, as you mentioned, could step in to save him because of what he's doing here on Ukraine. So this is a different situation than the fall when McCarthy was ousted from the speakership. But no doubt about it, Mike Johnson opening up a revolt on the far right with this conference, with this move here.
Yeah. I mean, we just saw it just right there, what you played for us, Manu. Thanks so much.
Well, at least CNN's calling it out. It looks like the Uniparty's in full swing. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that he would go aside from what his party wants, what his base wants. We don't want to send any more money to Ukraine and to Israel. Mike Johnson, I have choice words for you, and they're not very kind. Now, what's unironic is I'm watching this and I'm going, okay, this guy is a part of the Uniparty. We used to call them the neocons. They used to call them the neoliberals. This is the faction of the country that wants war, nonstop war for the military-industrial complex. So it's not a matter of if something bad's going to happen catastrophically and globally, but when. Now, I don't even know what I can do to control this. It looks like Matt Gaetz can't even control Mike Johnson. And a lot of you guys probably feel like me, like, hey, we're out of control. The world could end. I could wake up tomorrow. We could be at war. Well, we can't control whether we're going to be at war, but we can control if we're prepared for those solutions. And one of the best ways that you can do that is by having emergency food solutions for your family from My Patriot Supply. What you're going to do is I have this special offer that I found out, and it's super amazing because I always thought this stuff was really expensive. But it turns out they're priced under $50 right now, this week only, for 1 week emergency food kits. And I was like, okay, but what am I going to buy emergency food kits for now? I don't know when the war is going to happen, this year, next year, 10 years. I don't want to waste my money. Money's tight. Well, yeah, it's a good price, but if I have to buy them every year, no, I don't. Because they're literally stored in a special container that lasts up to 25 years. So you can buy now, forget about it, and you're prepared for up to 25 years for whatever conflicts happen. They have over 2,000 calories per day. They have delicious flavors. They'll keep you full. They'll taste delicious. And the best part is you just grab it and go. It's ready in emergency. So look, don't control the government. We can't do that per se, but we can control and be prepared with our families. Go to preparewithvnn.com, PREPAREWITHVNN.com. Again, that's preparewithvnn.com. Get these kits under $50 this week only. Be prepared today. Now, as we prepare, we look at this and we talk, okay, so what are we doing? Is there anybody in the government who can actually help us? Well, it looks like Senator Rand Paul, as we mentioned earlier, is snapping back. He's saying directly here on Twitter, if Trump supports this monstrous unpaid for foreign aid debt buster, he will lose the very supporters who comprise his vanguard. Mark my words. And that's in response to the original video we saw of Mike Johnson on CNN. And I think that Rand Paul's correct. What is Trump doing? He's still taking credit for the COVID vaccine and Operation Warp Speed. And I don't even think he's responsible for that. I think he just took responsibilities. He thought it was helpful. And I like Trump. I personally, this is not a reflection of the network or of the company because people can vote how they want, but I voted for Trump in both elections. I'm going to vote for Trump again. And you cannot vote for him, but damn well I can tell you this. A lot of us are asking Trump, stop focusing on foreign aid. Great, you moved the embassy in Israel. Great, you've been able to stop wars while you were in office. But can we please do what the base wants? Once and for all. Because we're getting pretty darn tired of dealing with leaders who say, I'm a Christian like Mike Johnson, I'm a good guy. And they turn around, spit in our faces. And we have to leave it to people like Rand Paul to speak some sense in reality and go, listen, the people don't want this. I don't know how loud we've got to get. Maybe we have to do something. I don't know. Maybe we do. I'm not going to say we do. I'm just saying maybe we do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This has been another episode of the Gateway Pundits Beyond the Headlines by VNN. Don't forget to be prepared for the future by checking out the emergency 1 week food kits priced this week only under $50 at preparewithvnn.com. Links in the description. Have a great rest of the week. Make sure you share these links with your friends and family, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.